What's going on, peeps in the Art of Powerful Alignment group? I just finished a little workout and I had an insight, and I wanted to share this with you guys. For those of you who are brand new members of the group, welcome. Those of you, please show yourselves, ask questions. I love to do Facebook Live content to answer your questions. I'm constantly looking for ways to serve and be of value to you. The whole purpose of this group is to give you tools and strategies and start the conversation and continue the conversation about how to get your mindset in alignment with your vision, how to get your heart and mind and actions and words in everything that you go through in your life to get into alignment with the desired outcome, because I find that we're not in that mindset quite a bit. We're most of the time focused and addicted to our problems. And let me explain. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr.Nima Rahmany. I am a chiropractor, still in practice, very part-time, and I'm a full-time coach helping stressed, depressed, and anxious people transform, have more powerful relationships with themselves and with others, and expand on their communities, their tribes, their patients, and I do that by specific tools, mindset tools that I've learned from all of the mentors that I've taken classes from and sat at the feet of and hired. I've had many Obi-Wans in my day, and I just know that the most powerful version of me comes when I have strategic feedback. So I wanted to share with you some insights that I had this morning on why you lose sight of your dreams, why you're losing sight of your vision, and why we as human beings do that. And it all has to do with neurology. It all has to do with how our nervous system is working. There's the cortex, the neocortex, which is the thinking, creative, problem-solving center. This is where we have vision. This is where our future self is designed. This is where our creativity, creative force from the neocortex. And then we have the hindbrain. We have the monkey mind, which is the fight or flight or freeze response that happens. And depending on where our focus is, either one of those two centers are predominant in our lives. And when we wake up in the morning, we tend to go, if we don't set the day up properly, we will have a tendency of going into the mindset of stress response. Fight, flight, freeze. And that in that space, we lose sight of our vision. So in other words, the reason why I, the same as you, the reason why I lose sight of the vision that I've created for myself as far as my present future self, the reason why is because of stress hormones. The stress hormones that get released in our body actually cause a liberation of chemicals, which forces us to gather our resources for survival. So if we're in survival neurology, we're not in long-term building projects. You can't be. It's neurology. So knowing that, it becomes our responsibility. And I got to tell you, maybe 95% of the people in the Western world are living predominantly in that nervous system state. Hey, good morning, Shmila. The majority of people in the Western world wake up, go to work, come home from work, interact with people in that survival mentality. So those are the people with the Monday morning blues. Tuesday, Wednesday is hump day. Thank God it's Friday. And then the weekend, when we just sedate ourselves and forget and try to numb ourselves from the constant barrage of stress hormones. And there is no vision. So we try to numb, sedate with parties, with sporting events, with concerts, which are great. I love all of those things. But they become our obsessions because it's usually because we want to numb ourselves from the fact that we're constantly in that stress hormone survival mode. So what that means is you're constantly living under the past. constantly the past, present self is predominating. What happened at work, the problems that you're going through, your emails, the boss, the teenagers that are giving you a hard time. So it becomes my responsibility each day to take part in activities and action steps which actively shut off the stress response, put me into neocortex mode so that I can live in the world of possibility. In that space, I still have challenges. However, I'm way more friggin' resourceful when I'm actually engaged in these challenges. I see myself as capable. I see myself as resourceful. I see myself as being a servant, as somebody that can actually help a situation, that I have control of my inner being, and my inner being kind of comes in a state of power. I have freedom and I have self-expression. Oh, by the way, I just want to let you know something here. I just want to show you how it is. This is Yaletown, Vancouver, downtown Vancouver. The sun is just coming up. This is the boats in Yaletown. How beautiful it is for the response. I mean, this is my morning. I just finished CrossFit and I'm walking right now, and I just had this thought of the question you want to ask yourself every morning when you wake up. The question you're going to really want to ask yourself is, what mindset am I beginning this day with? What area of my nervous system is predominating? Because if I'm in survival mode, fight or flight mode, then I lose sight of the vision that I have, any dream that I have, anything that I had set out for myself as far as a plan goes. I start to talk myself out of it. I start to go, I'm not capable, I'm not good enough, I'm not worth it. Good morning, Kara. See you in a few weeks in Toronto, hun. By the way, if you are finding that you're resonating with this and you find yourself consistently living in that fight or flight survival mode, the stress hormone, the world of stress hormones, there are ways to undo that. Of course, exercise is critical. The establishment of morning rituals is a neurological concept to get your brain and body and heart and mind in alignment with your vision so that you can start the day off that way. I found that when I started doing that, everything started to change for me. So those are the things that you can do yourself, because it's the stress hormones that make you lose sight of the vision. Remember that, it's your stress hormones. So some of us have these stress hormones, and they've been happening because of certain events that have happened in your life. It's beautiful, hey? Because of certain events that have happened in your life that you really haven't yet learned how to transcend. You might have tried to forgive them. You might have tried to say, oh, you know what? It's in the past, never mind. But if you still are holding on to this resentment, like my clients, I'll ask them this whenever we're working, whenever they apply to work with me, we have a conversation. I go, okay, so what happened that made you lose sight of your vision? And they'll tell me things like, I had a huge, slap in the wrist from the IRS, or in Canada, the CRA, and boom, to an entrepreneur, to somebody, to a chiropractor who's building his business, and all of a sudden gets slammed by, the CRA. It just totally knocks you off course, and you lose sight of your vision. Or you might have gone through a divorce, or you're really having problems. You had like a trauma at the workplace. Hey, Erica, thank you, Erica. God bless you. So those are the reasons why you could have a temperament and a mood that's been heavy, because no matter how hard you try to connect to something greater, to pray, to meditate, to whatever, you have this cloud of resentment, this charge. So you're in charge. What's in charge of you? Stuff that's happened to you. And you got this massive cloud of resentment and charge around you. You've gone through a divorce, you've gone through a breakup, you've changed careers, whatever it is, any transitional anxiety is actually messing with your hormonal system, causing you to have this fight or flight state. I got to get me one of those those selfie stick ones that don't move. It's coming, it's coming. So if that's you, and you feel that this has been really hitting you hard, and you haven't been able to bust through, and you know exactly what it is, you know what it, tap some hearts, show some love. If you know exactly why your stress hormones are high, hey Odile, what's up, girlfriend? If you know exactly what that is, then let me know. This is basically why I've created the overview method, because it takes whatever it is that you've had in your past, this story with your mother, story with your father, this challenge that you're going through with your boss, this divorce, this whatever it is that you're going through. I know what it's like because I've been through it. What we do with the overview method is we teach you how to actually take exactly what's in the way, ask yourself a series of questions about it which challenge your beliefs and assumptions, and then you go, okay, is that really in the way or is it actually on the way? And it's just the adjustment that you need to bust through your stuckness, and it gets you into action and motion. And once you do that and you get it right, this feeling of heaviness, this stress hormones, this resentment, this breakdown turns into a breakthrough. And the last step is to get into communication with people about it. Because no doubt these stress hormones that have happened, whether it be a divorce, whether it be a grief, it has to do with some sort of a relationship, either with yourself or another person. You come to completion with it, restore integrity with it, and all of a sudden, everything changes. You now found that vision again. So stress hormones are the cause of us losing sight of our vision. We are responsible for our day-to-day actions to keep ourselves focused on our mindset in the neocortex and outside of the fight or flight or freeze, which most human beings in the Western world are literally living under 24/7. So when you're in survival mode, you're not thinking of long-term building projects. So how to transform that is to learn the tools, is to get a mentorship, find an Obi-Wan to help guide you through the forest. Don't do it alone. It's important to get strategic feedback from a community, and community, that's why this community is great, a community that actually cares. Don't do it alone, because using your own feelings as your guide isn't always wise, because sometimes your feelings are completely inaccurate based on an interpretation that's completely delusional. And it's important for us to find the tools, the community, the mentorship to be able to transform that. I'm going to be in Brisbane, Australia in 4 weeks to do the overview experience. We have seats remaining. Please send me a private message for an application. We're going to be in Toronto October 14th weekend. People are signing up and registering. It's going to be a beautiful little house slash estate close to the airport in Mississauga. It's going to be amazing. And London, UK, December 2nd and 3rd. So we have seats available. In those seminars, what I do is we take each and every person with whatever story from their past and completely transform it over a weekend, and you have a brand new family. You have a whole new family after on Sunday night, and connected for life. And it's pretty incredible to be able to witness that transformation. I'm blessed to be able to teach it, learn it as a way of being, and dedicating my life to teaching and learning these things, learning and teaching, and living it. So life's too short to lose your vision and mission and purpose. It's important for us to create meaning, and that meaning is at its best when it's serving others and receiving and giving in fair exchange. And absolutely I'm grateful to be able to share this with you. If there's any questions, let me know. Introduce yourself. If you have a question, if you feel that the stress hormones in your life over the past few years, the events that have happened have completely diverted you, and you realize that life is short and you want to get back on track and you don't want to wait any longer, reach out to me, and I will be happy to assist you, have a strategy session, and see, what blocks were in the way, so that we can actually bust you through to the next level of relationship and have better sleep, better connections with your family. My clients report that it's kind of like one of the guys that I have in mind, Dr. Ryan. He was completely lost his purpose. He had just broke up with his engagement, with his relationship, reached out to me, and we had a conversation. He goes, I just don't like going to work anymore. I'm a chiropractor. I love what I do, but I just lost my mojo. And it turned out he had just gone through a couple breakups, past divorce, wasn't yet unpacked and completed. And today he is, found the love of his life. He's now about to be a father. He's, never been more certain about anything. His practice is booming. And it's because he connected to a mission statement, a cause greater than him, and we cleared all of the resentment and regret from his life. So, God bless you. Hey, Chantal, what's going on, girl? I want to just leave you with this view right here of my city. And this is Vancouver. For those of you who have never been here, this is David Lamb Park in Yaletown, and this is my morning walk. And I just wanted to give a big shout out to all of you guys, to those of you, Rochelle, Chantal, those of you who've attended my workshops, my seminars, and who do the work, work to be able to turn their past around. I could see victims going into masters of their destiny, going into a place where they're actually wanting and having this burning desire to make a difference in others. We can't do that if stress hormones are running our lives. So I wanted to invite you to actually reach out if you are wanting to become an inspired leader by getting over the past present self. Buenos dias, Megan. Another badass. I wanted to acknowledge Megan as well, who went from rock bottom last year to coming to the workshop. She stepped up, abandoned her excuses, went through a bankruptcy, went through a divorce and bankruptcy. Yeah, it is beautiful. Went through divorce and bankruptcy, and all of a sudden came to the workshop, turned it around, and is now dedicating herself to doing the work, expanding. She's doing better than ever. And she's completely, her mission and vision is to help young women who've gone through the same thing, going through depression and been diagnosed with mental illness. She wants to teach them that it's all in your own mindset, and you have a choice in the matter. You don't have to buy into a diagnosis that somebody with a white lab coat gave you, and she's a nurse, so she knows, and they tried to completely give her all sorts of diagnoses and labels. Reached out to me, I'm like, put those bullshit labels away. You're absolutely healthy. We just got to clear some of your bullshit lies. I'm such an asshole. And so, thank God she's a sport, right, Megan? Thank God you're a sport. And what happens is you started telling the truth. Whoa. You started telling the truth, and all of a sudden, it's weird how the truth sets you free. She's feeling better, stronger, expanding, wanting to make a difference in the world. And that's all happens when we completely get out of the mindset of the fight or flight, and we go back into our vision. And that's what we're here. We're here to make a difference on this planet. You're not here forever. You're here on this floating speck of stardust for a very short period of time, and it is my favorite kind of asshole. And it is up to us to spend that time doing worthwhile things that are meaningful, so that we can look back and go, did I do everything I could with what I was given? And so that's why I'm here, and that's why I sold my practice, so that I can really make a deeper impact rather than just the physical. I knew that the mindset and helping people with the direction in their lives is probably the greatest gift. People like Megan that have transformed and are continuing to. People like Shamila, who was just on there earlier, and went from complete panic attacks going to Costco within a few months doing zip lining in Whistler. Just setting yourself free from the mental jail caused by the stress hormones in your life. And I've created the tools to be able to help people with that, to take action. Reach out to me, and I hope to see you one of these places all over the world. either Brisbane, Toronto, or UK, let's dance, baby. Let's continue the conversation. Let me know if you have any questions, any comments. Send them below. God bless you guys.